We've got our next call coming in from Kimberly in Asheville. Hey, Kimberly, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Great. What's going on?
So my husband and I have a wedding videography business, and we are just trying to figure out when is a good time, if any, to start paying for advertising.
Okay, so it's wedding videography?
Yes.
Okay, tell me a little bit about your business. How long have you been in business? What's your client base? Like, do you have a pretty stable one, or is this kind of a side gig? What's going on?
So it's been a side gig. We've been shooting videos since 2011, but it's always just been like friends and family. We've never kind of gone outside of that. We had some kids, and now that our kids are a little bit older, we're trying to actually turn it into a profitable side hustle. We've been doing social media, and we just haven't really seen any results from what we've been doing. So we're just trying to figure out, like, how do we, find brides and, paying for advertising to actually get those people to see our work.
Gotcha, totally. Well, I'll tell you, the quickest thing that you can do that I don't know how much you've utilized yet, even before you start paying for advertising, would be to really intentionally create a strategy around word of mouth marketing. Because, Kimberly, even though you're creating videos, these beautiful videos, you're really in a service-based business because you're providing the service of capturing that day. Now, here's the thing about service-based businesses. Service-based businesses are highly referral-based, and they are highly trust-based, much more so than product-based businesses. The product, it's much more cut and dried when you are having an exchange, like I'm going to buy some toothpaste, I get the toothpaste. With the service, if you're going to have someone teach your kids piano, or if you're going to have someone clean your house, or highlight your hair, or video your wedding, it's so trust-based. Now, what's so great about that is you're in the business of relationship marketing. So you already have a client base, even if it's from years ago before you have had kids. You have a client base that can provide testimonial quotes, sizzle reels and examples of photos if they'll allow you permission to use them in their marketing, and people that can actively market for you. The thing about brides, now this wouldn't be so much 7 years ago, but current today, any recent clients that you have, people that are getting married have friends that are getting married. Because people tend to get married and have babies and all that at the same stage of life. So what's so great about this is I think if you start there before you begin paying for advertising, I think you will have a higher rate of return. I think you'll have more successful efforts, much obviously lower cost. It's free.
You're right.
But you'll also have more success because these people will then talk about your business for you, bring you referrals, and that's who I want to do things for me. That's who I want to video my wedding is someone that videoed my friend's wedding, and I loved their video. Actually, in fact, our photographer that we used was a friend that got married a year earlier, and she had the most gorgeous photos. And I remember making a mental note. I wasn't even engaged at the time. And I remember thinking, whenever I get married, I want her photographer because he was so good. And then since then, multiple other friends of mine have used him as well. So if you can build those key relationships with your brides and actively help them market for you, give them, whether it's cards or brochures or samples or whatever you need to do, set up meet and greets, bring them coffee. Like when you're at a wedding, think of all the bridesmaids and all the guests as potential market. Right? So it's like you can bring coffee for all the bridesmaids and also give them your card, like when you get married, So I would just really actively begin on working those relationships. You certainly can pay for advertising. I'll tell you a good starting point would be on Facebook, simply because it's so targeted. So you can actually target brides, people that are engaged, people that are interested in other wedding type of things. And so Facebook can have a pretty good success rate, and you can start with a very low dollar amount. You can start with like $50. You can start with a very low amount and see if it works. And then if it works, put that money back into more advertising. But do a little bit of learning about that, Kimberly, on how to target your ads. In fact, I tell you what I'll do. Kimberly, I have a course called Social Media Simplified. And this is where I walk you through how to use social media for your business. And there's one specific lesson in there on paid advertising, how to target it and how to use it. So I'm going to give that to you. If you'll stay on the line with Kelly, she will make sure you get that course. And if you take that course, that'll help you with taking that next step with paid advertising when you're ready. But I tell you, I think your best bet are making those key relationships with your brides. Girls love to talk. just help them talk. Help them talk about your business, and I think that'll help. That's a great question. I love this question because sometimes when we're getting started, we think, oh, I have to immediately pay for advertising. That's the only way to build my business. But if you are in a service-based business, I'm telling y'all, it's all about trust. When I did research a few years ago on women with businesses, all different stages of businesses, I asked people in the service-based business, I asked everyone, but specifically service-based business, I said, where do most of your clients come from? And y'all, every single person in the service-based business told me they got one key client, one key person in a neighborhood, one key person in a church, one key person in a school, and that person brought them all of their other business. So you don't know who that quote unquote key person is, right? But you can start building relationships because once word spreads, man, you've got a ton of business coming in. I used an example a second ago of a handyman that's doing some floors in our house right now. And he said that I'm the first person that he has done work for outside of this one neighborhood called Fredericksburg. Because why? Because once he did one house in Fredericksburg, word spread, and he was stuck in Fredericksburg for like 2 years because everyone wanted him. If you get your customers talking, especially in the service-based business, which is a trust business, you will have a ton of business coming in.